First, right now here at 11, as we come on the air for you, we are actually moving ahead, showing you our Futurecast radar, what it's going to be like starting very early in the morning tomorrow. This is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, again, starting in just a few hours. It's a weather impact alert day for you as well. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell is here with the important timing on potential severe weather tomorrow. And any tornadoes coming out of this, Mallory, what do you think?
Hey there, Doug. We always have that chance this time of year, but this is not looking to be a big outbreak scenario for us tomorrow. I do think we could see a few isolated tornado warnings, and you'll notice from the Storm Prediction Center, we are under a 2% chance. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that is the standard for a slight risk, and that's what we have in place tomorrow. This means you have a 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of a point. You'll notice higher percentages or higher chances off to our northeast and also down to our southwest. I'd say the bigger threat would be damaging winds. That's what you're seeing here, and also heavy rainfall. Now, this is the calm before the storm here on the Max HD radar. You can see just maybe some light rain trying to show up along with the cloud cover, but off to our west and northwest, a much more active scene. And once again, we will see storms scattered at first tomorrow morning, increasing in coverage, and then we wait for the line of storms that will be rolling in during the afternoon and evening hours. We'll talk much more about the cold front that will swing through during the second half of the day. That's coming up in our extended forecast. Doug.
All right, Mallory, thank you. A real talker for you here tonight. All new on the night team. Big changes could be coming to the nearly 100-year-old 2nd Street Bridge over the Ohio River. You see it there in the dark with sort of the green highlights on the old spans right there in the middle of the river. Here's the big change we're talking about. How does one lane into downtown Louisville sound from southern Indiana as you're driving into the city? Well, we got a late email from Kentucky Transportation today, and that is one of their concepts. They're calling it a concept being considered right now. It would change the bridge from 4 lanes down to 3 right here for you to drive. Now, the changes include keeping 2 northbound lanes into Indiana and changing it so that there would be only 1 southbound lane driving into downtown Louisville. KYTC says it followed feedback from you and the community and local officials over the past few years on how to address all the crashes on the bridge and traffic as well. About 24,000 cars travel on the bridge per day and about $8 million annually. The bridge turns 97 years old in October. Right now, we have an update that's all new since 6. Crews have spent all afternoon repairing a water main break near Norton Pavilion on East Broadway. Louisville Water Company told us a contractor not affiliated with them was working at the corner of Preston and Gray Streets. This is in the middle of the hospital district downtown, and then they hit a 20-inch water main. Water service at the nearby Norton Hospital Pavilion has not been impacted. There's a few detours, though, but people can still access the area. Repairs, we are told, could last into early tomorrow morning, again, right in downtown Louisville. Happening tomorrow, Air Force One touches down in northern Kentucky. President Donald Trump is going to be speaking in the heart of Congressman Thomas Massey's big GOP district, the man he would like to see to lose his seat in the May primary. But the president's visit in Hebron, Kentucky is being touted as a way to make America affordable again. He's going to be speaking at a pharmaceutical company, also to push his new Trump RX initiative. We've learned that the 3 Republican U.S. Senate candidates in Kentucky will also be there. They are looking for Donald Trump's endorsement. Also, 4th District congressional candidate Ed Galrine of Shelbyville is attending. He's the president's hand-picked choice in the race against Thomas Massey. Massey told us in a recent interview here at WHAS that he expects to survive any involvement by President Trump in the primary. We're going to be covering the event for you, live coverage and streaming on WHAS 11 News and the WHAS 11 Plus app.
When I met Ben's family last night, his mom, his dad, and his sister, they showed me a picture, a drawing that Ben had made when he was in kindergarten. It was clear all the way back then that Ben wanted to do one thing in his life, and he wanted to serve his country and be a soldier. And to the Penningtons, just know how Ben was absolutely a great one.
That is General Dan Kane today talking about fallen Kentucky service member Sergeant Benjamin Pennington, the 7th American to die with Iranian strikes. He's from Glendale, Kentucky, and he returned home last night with the military's dignified transfer of remains. Israel's prime minister calling for the people of Iran to rise up against their government. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says U.S. strikes on Iran will continue to amplify. It's clearly not over, as ABC's Melissa Adan shows us.
Tonight, the war with Iran intensifying. The Pentagon saying this is the most intense day of strikes yet.
We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated. But we do so. We do so on our timeline and at our choosing.
New video from U.S. Central Command shows American troops unleashing massive air attacks on multiple Iranian boats near the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump on social media saying the U.S. completely destroyed 10 inactive mine-laying boats.
The U.S. military is drawing up additional options following the president's directive to continue keeping the Strait of Hormuz open.
The U.S. now saying it's eliminated 16 mine-laying vessels. The war waging on despite Trump's message yesterday that it would soon end. Iran's top security official issuing a direct threat to the president, posting on X, "Watch out for yourself, lest you be eliminated." Israel's prime minister tonight calling for regime change, telling the Iranian people, be ready to seize the moment. The Pentagon now confirming at least 140 American service members have been injured so far in the war, 8 severely wounded. A surviving soldier from the deadly Iranian drone strike in Kuwait at the start of the war, describing to ABC affiliate KSTP the moments before he witnessed it crashing down.
I remember turning my head to the left and I seen the nose of that drone pop through, and as soon as it did, I knew what it was. It was either a missile or a drone, and that's when it blew up and just blew the whole building apart.
The war with no clear timeline raising questions. Influential podcaster Joe Rogan asking why we're there in the first place.
It just seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it.
Melissa Adan, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And in a now deleted post, the Energy Secretary Chris Wright said the United States Navy escorted an oil tanker successfully through the Strait of Hormuz, causing oil prices to suddenly go down today. After deleting that post, though, the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, confirmed that it just wasn't true, and then gas prices jumped right back up. Right here, new tonight in town, honoring a Central High School student hit by 2 cars and killed this morning trying to cross a busy street. And in a contentious vote happening tonight, the Jefferson County School Board also said no to cutting working days for exceptional education staff members. But first, WHAS11 Night Team's Alex Dederer and photojournalist Aspen Hester have more on that moment of silence tonight and the move to make school bus stops safer.
A moment of silence is always held at the start of JCPS board meetings. This moment of silence holds a lot of weight and is filled with heavy hearts.
Well, she was a part of the ROTC. She was looking forward to making plans to go to college. She was prepared to take her SAT today.
16-year-old Janiyah Brown was hit and killed while crossing Cane Run Road. She was a junior at Central High School.
That loss has a level, a depth of pain that I wouldn't wish on any parent.
During the meeting, the board voted unanimously to approve a study on JCPS bus stop safety and street lighting.
While not waiting at a bus stop, it underscores the critical importance of lighting and what sort of safety improvement, what sort of basic safety improvement that has on the lives of our children.
Sponsored by Councilmember Marcus Winkler, the study is in collaboration with Metro Government and LG&E and paid for by the city.
The city's gonna pay for all of it. They got all the money. We don't have none. So
the board also discussed cuts to exceptional childhood education staff's working days. The original reductions included cutting the lead psychologist position and reducing some staff workdays from 200 to 187, including school psychologists.
I understand the pressure of balancing a budget, but cutting the time of the very people who hold our students' mental health together is not a savings. It is a long-term cost we cannot afford.
Before the board meeting, Superintendent Dr. Brian Yearwood made 2 changes. 1, to keep the lead psychologist, and 2, keep all 200 working days for JCTA employees who would have been impacted. The changes were voted down. Vice Chair James Craig was one of the 4 no votes and asked Yearwood to go back to stakeholders and both union and non-union employees to bring back a new recommendation.
It is our job to represent the values of the community that elects us to send us here, to stress test the recommendations that are put in front of us, to make sure the values of this city are reflected.
That recommendation passed. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 night team, on your side.
The board will now vote on a different recommendation from Dr. Yearwood on changes to the ECE staff at next month's board meeting. Now, here's what happened just before 7 o'clock this morning. 16-year-old Janiyah Brown was hit and killed by 2 cars while crossing Cane Run Road. Police say she was trying to cross the busy street. After talking with Brown's family, Councilmember Tammy Hawkins told us Brown's usual bus stop is on Teakwood Circle, and she doesn't have to cross the busy street.
We're not quite sure if she missed the bus and tried to catch it when it turned around. We're just not quite sure right now.
Metro Police, by the way, say the drivers of those cars did remain at the scene. A Kentucky transportation spokesperson told us this section of Cane Run Road and the Greenbelt Highway is currently part of an 11-mile safety study right from the Gene Snyder Freeway down to Algonquin Parkway. New tonight in Lexington, the former UK student and stunt athlete Laken Snelling has been indicted and charged in connection with her baby's death. She was arrested in August of 2025 after her newborn baby boy was found dead inside her closet at her home off campus in Lexington. A grand jury indicted Snelling on first-degree manslaughter, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and concealing the birth of an infant. Don't go to bed just yet. The St. Patrick's Parade is this Saturday. It's the 53rd year for one of the city's most beloved family events. Confirmed by U of L tonight, star Michael Brown Jr. is out for the ACC tournament. Sarandon Raboyne with those details. And then later, sports director Ken Spencer has arrived in Charlotte, where he's going to be covering the Cardinals in the ACC tournament. But first, right after this, the sexual harassment claims costing a downtown Louisville comedy club hundreds of thousands of dollars. The details when the night team comes right back.
And here's a check of today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions, $533 million. Powerball, $58 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.